Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you are watching this right now, it is not by chance. It is not an algorithm. It is not a scroll that stopped at the wrong moment. Something deeper brought you here. And deep down, you already know it. You are someone who feels different. You carry something inside that others cannot always see. A longing, a weight, a fire that will not go out no matter how many times life tried to extinguish it. People around you move fast, distracted, satisfied with the surface of things. But you keep coming back to Allah, even when you were silent, even when you felt unworthy, even when the dua seemed to dissolve into the air before reaching the sky. You are not behind, you are not forgotten, and you are absolutely not too late. What if I told you that everything you have been waiting for, the door that never seemed to open, the dream that kept being delayed, the version of yourself you kept praying to become, is not further away than you think. It is closer. It is being prepared. And what Allah is about to start in your life will not crawl. It will move fast. Because that is how Allah works when the time is right. This video was built for you. Not for the crowd, for the one who feels called to go deeper, to rise, to anchor every breath back to Him. Subscribe now and turn on notifications. Because what we build here, week after week, is not content. It is a path back to Allah, and you are meant to walk it. Stay on till the very end. Because I will give you a powerful dua that you can use starting tonight. Do not skip it. Now let us begin. There is a story that sits quietly in the heart of every believer who has ever felt like they were running out of time. It is not a story about failure. It is not a story about weakness. It is the story of Ibrahim, alayhi as-salam, standing in a valley with no water, no people, no visible reason for hope, and yet moving forward because Allah had spoken. He did not wait for the conditions to look favorable. He did not wait for the map to make sense. He walked into the unknown and trusted that the water would come. And it came. Not as a trickle, as Zamzam. As a spring that is still flowing today, thousands of years later, giving life to millions of people who never even knew His name. That is what trust in Allah produces. Not small results, eternal ones. But let us be honest with each other for a moment, because this space was built for honesty, not for performance. There are days when trust is hard. There are days when you have made dua for the same thing so many times that the words begin to feel worn, like a path you have walked so often you can no longer see the ground beneath your feet. There are days when you look at someone else's life, someone who does not seem to carry what you carry, someone who does not seem to pray the way you pray, and everything in them seems to be moving forward while everything in you seems to be standing still. And in that moment, something whispers to you. It does not shout, it whispers. And it says, maybe it is not for you. Maybe you asked for too much. Maybe you were wrong about what you felt Allah was calling you toward. Write, I trust Allah in the comments right now. Because that whisper is not wisdom. That whisper is the voice that wants you to let go of the rope before the relief arrives. And you are not going to let go, not today. Here is what that moment of comparison is actually showing you. It is not showing you that someone else has more favor than you. It is showing you that you are still measuring by what is visible. And Allah's greatest work is almost always invisible until it is suddenly, completely, undeniably manifest. The seed does not announce itself while it is becoming a tree. The bones of a child do not announce themselves while they are forming in darkness. The most profound things that Allah builds, He builds in hiddenness, in patience, in a silence that looks from the outside like nothing is happening, but from the inside, if you are paying attention, feels like everything is being rearranged. You are being rearranged right now. Not punished. Rearranged. The things that felt like losses were removals. The doors that closed were redirections. The people who left created space. The plans that collapsed made room for something that could not have been built on top of what was already there. Allah was not taking from you. Allah was clearing the ground so that what He builds next has nothing underneath it that will cause it to fall. This is the nature of divine timing. It does not feel logical from inside the waiting. It only makes sense once you are standing on the other side looking back. And every single person who has ever trusted Allah through a season that made no sense has stood on that other side and said the same thing. They said, I understand now. I see it now. If it had come when I wanted it, I would not have been ready. If it had looked the way I imagined it, I would have missed what it actually was. Type, Allah knows best. If you have ever looked back at a closed door and thanked Allah for keeping it shut. Because that gratitude, that looking back and recognizing the hand of Allah in the things that did not go your way, is one of the most powerful spiritual positions a believer can stand in. It is not resignation. It is not passive acceptance. It is an active, eyes open, heart open declaration that you have seen enough of how Allah works to trust Him with what you cannot see yet. And when you stand in that place, something shifts in the energy of your dua. You stop asking from a place of lack. You start asking from a place of certainty. And dua made from certainty moves differently than dua made from desperation. There is something that happens to a believer who has been waiting a long time that nobody talks about openly. It is not doubt exactly, and it is not despair exactly, but it lives somewhere between the two. It is a kind of spiritual exhaustion, a tiredness that does not come from the body, but from the soul. You have been consistent. You have been patient. You have shown up for your salah, even on the days when the words felt hollow. You have made dua even when the silence on the other side felt deafening. You have read about Tawakkul and you have tried to practice it, and you have reminded yourself of the stories of the prophets, and you have done everything that everyone tells you to do. And still, the thing you are waiting for has not arrived. And the exhaustion is not about giving up. It is about not knowing how much longer you are supposed to hold on. If that is where you are right now, I need you to hear this clearly. You are not weak. You are not failing. You are in the most sacred part of the journey. Because the place where human endurance reaches its edge is exactly where divine intervention tends to begin. Write, I'm still here, Ya Allah, in the comments. Because those 5 words are one of the most powerful prayers a tired believer can make. Not a long supplication, not an eloquent speech, just the rawness of still being present, still reaching, still turned toward Him, even when everything in you is running on empty. Allah does not require your strength. He only requires your direction. And if your face is still turned toward Him, you have not lost. You are not behind. You are exactly where the story needs you to be before it changes. Now let us talk about what happens just before Allah moves. Because there is a pattern, and once you see it, you will never be able to unsee it. Look at Musa alayhi as-salam, standing at the edge of the sea with Pharaoh's army closing in behind him. His people were terrified. They said, we are going to be caught. They could see the water in front of them and the enemy behind them, and by every visible measure, it was over. And in that moment, Musa said something that should be written on the wall of every believer's heart. He said, no. My Lord is with me and He will guide me. Not later. Now. Not somewhere else. Here. And the sea opened. The sea does not open before you reach it. It opens when you are standing at its edge with nowhere left to go. This is not cruelty. This is precision. Because if the sea had opened while you were still far away, you would have walked through it casually. You would have crossed it with gratitude, but without transformation. It is the standing at the edge, The feeling of having no other option, no other door, no other source that strips away every last attachment to anything other than Allah. And when you are standing there with nothing left but Him, that is when you discover that He was always enough, not as a concept, as a living, present, responding reality. Type, "Open my Ya Allah" in the comments if you are standing at an edge right now and you need Him to move. Because He sees you standing there. He has always seen you. And the fact that you are still standing, still facing forward, still making dua instead of walking away, is itself a sign. It is a sign that Allah has kept something alive in you that difficulty could not kill, that delay could not extinguish, that disappointment could not permanently dim. That thing that is still alive in you is called Iman. And Iman in the hands of a patient believer is not a small thing. It is the seed of every miracle that is about to unfold in your life. Here is what you need to understand about the speed that is coming. When Allah decides that the preparation is complete, when the season of building in hiddenness is finished, when the person He has been sculpting is ready, He does not ease you into the new chapter. He opens it, fully. And things that seemed impossible begin happening in sequences that your mind cannot keep up with. A conversation leads to an opportunity. An opportunity leads to a connection. A connection leads to a door. And the door leads to a room that you could never have imagined from where you were standing. And you will look at the speed of it, and you will say, "Subhanallah. This is what I was waiting for. This is why the other things did not work. Because none of them could have led here. We are almost at the end of this journey together. And I promised you something at the beginning. I promised you a dua. Not a decorative one. Not words you repeat without feeling. A real one. One that you carry with you out of this video and into the quiet moments of your day. Into the space between Asr and Maghrib, when the light changes and something in the air feels thin enough to reach through. But before I give it to you, I need you to do something. I need you to stop for just a moment. Not physically. Internally. Put down the weight of everything you have been carrying into this video. The worry about timing. The questions about whether you're enough. The exhaustion of the wait. And just arrive here. Just be present in this moment. Because what you are about to receive is not just a dua. It is a door. And doors only open when you are actually standing in front of them. Write, "I am ready" in the comments. Because intention matters. And the believer who arrives at a dua with an open heart receives something different than the one who lets it play in the background. Now close your eyes if you can. Or if you are driving, if you are walking, just let these words settle into you like water into dry ground. Ya Allah, you know what I have been carrying. You know the length of this weight and the weight of it. You know the nights I spent talking to you when I had no one else to turn to. And the mornings I woke up still trusting you, even when the answer had not yet come. Ya Allah, I am not here to rush you. I am here to align with you. I am here to say that I trust your timing more than I trust my own understanding. I trust your plan more than I trust my own vision. And I ask you today, not just for the thing I have been waiting for, but for the version of me that is ready to carry it with gratitude, with humility, and with a heart that never forgets where it came from. Ya Allah, surprise me, open what I could not open, move what I could not move, connect what I could not connect. And when it comes, let it come fast, because you have already done the slow and sacred work of preparing me for it. Let what you start next move with your speed, not mine. Let it arrive in a way that leaves no doubt in my heart or in the hearts of those around me that it was you, only you, always you. Ameen. 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 Type Ameen in the comments right now. Let this dua be sealed by every person watching. Because when believers make dua together, even through a screen, even across different countries and different languages and different stories, something real happens. The angels say Ameen alongside you.
And a dua that the angels seal is not a small thing. Now let me speak to you directly one last time before you go. You came to this video carrying something. Maybe you did not even know exactly what it was when you clicked. But something in the title called to you. Something in the promise of it matched something in you that needed to hear it. And I want you to know that this was not random. You were guided here. Not by an algorithm, by something older and deeper and more precise than any technology that exists. You are seen. You are known. You are chosen. Not because you are perfect. Not because your faith has never wavered. But because Allah keeps choosing the ones who keep coming back to Him. And you are one of them. You have always been one of them. And what He is about to do in your life will confirm it in a way that you will spend years being grateful for. Do not leave this video and return to the noise without taking something with you. Take the dua. Take the reminder that delay is preparation. Take the knowledge that when Allah moves, He moves fast and completely. And take this above everything else. You are not waiting because you are forgotten. You are waiting because what is being prepared for you required time that you could not see being spent. The work was happening, it is still happening, and it is almost done. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. If this video reached your heart today, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Not for the views, for the reward. Because every time someone watches this, and their heart softens toward Allah, you carry a piece of that. And that is a sadaqah jariyah that will follow you long after the screen goes dark. Until next time, Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And remember, Allah is not done with your story. He's just getting started.